If you drive rideshare at night, you need to hear this. There's one rule some drivers know but nobody really talks about. After 2 a.m., don't accept a ride with no profile, no photo, no name, no rating, cash tip promised in the notes. Just don't take it. I used to laugh at rules like that. Drivers tell all kinds of stories. A woman who disappears from the back seat. A guy dropped off at a cemetery. Then the driver finds out he died the week before. A kid standing on the shoulder of a country road who shows up every year on the same night. I always thought the same thing. People get tired. Night shifts mess with your head. The city feels different after midnight. Empty streets, bad lighting, weird passengers. Your brain starts filling in the blanks. I drove nights for almost 5 years. Back then I lived outside Pittsburgh, and I worked mostly between the city, the suburbs, and the old industrial neighborhoods along the river. I actually liked driving at night. During the day everyone was angry, everyone was late. Everyone slammed doors and asked if I could go faster, while we were sitting at a red light. At night people were different. Most of them were drunk, tired, quiet, or too sad to talk. I drove an older Toyota Camry. Nothing fancy but clean. Good heater, phone mount, dash cam in front, and a small camera facing the back seat. If you drive nights, you know why that matters. That fall, I was taking every ride I could get. My mom had medical bills. My rent had gone up. I was sleeping 4 or 5 hours a day and telling myself it was temporary. The night it happened started like any other. Airport drop-off. Gas station pickup. A girl crying in the back seat outside a bar, whispering into her phone, "I know I messed up. Just open the door, please." Then a guy with grocery bags. Then 2 college kids. Then a woman with a sleeping toddler. Normal night. Around 2:15 a.m. the city went quiet. I pulled into a 24-hour Sheetz, bought burnt coffee, and sat in the car with the heater on. It was cold in that wet, ugly way October gets in Pennsylvania. Not freezing, just damp enough to make everything feel dead. I was about to call it a night when my phone pinged. New ride. Pickup was 7 minutes away. Old apartment complex near an industrial park. Passenger profile, blank. No name, no photo, no rating. I stared at it for a second. Everything in me said cancel, but the fare was high, and I needed the money. So I accepted. The neighborhood was one of those places that looked bad even in daylight. Low brick buildings, rusted fences, closed warehouses, empty lots with weeds growing through cracked pavement. At night it looked worse. The app told me the passenger was waiting near Building C. I pulled up. No one was there. I sent, "I'm here." No answer. I waited 1 minute, then 2. I was about to call when I saw him. He didn't come out of the building. He came from behind it. Just walked out of the dark space between the apartments and the old playground. He was wearing a long dark coat with the collar up and a hood over his head, even though it wasn't raining. He moved slowly, like he was exhausted or hurt. He opened the back door and got in, quietly. I looked in the mirror. Male, maybe late 40s, thin, pale, not normal pale, hospital pale. He sat perfectly straight with both hands on his knees and looked out the window. "Hey," I said, "where are we headed?" He didn't answer right away. Then he gave me an address. I typed it in and felt my stomach tighten. It was outside the city, past the bypass, near some old back roads I barely knew. "You sure that's right?" I asked. "Yes," he said. His voice was dry and low, like he hadn't used it in a long time. I started driving. For the first few minutes, neither of us talked. I kept glancing at him in the mirror. He didn't move, didn't check his phone, didn't shift in his seat, just stared out the window, like he was watching something follow us. The GPS took us off the main road, toward an old industrial stretch. I didn't love that. Then my phone buzzed. Weak signal. A second later, the map froze. Great, I muttered. From the back seat, he said, "Something wrong?" "Lost signal." "That's okay," he said. "I know the way." I didn't like that at all, but we were already out there. No gas stations, no traffic, no houses with lights on. "Keep going," he said, then left. I followed his directions. The road got darker. Warehouses disappeared behind us. On the right was a rusted fence. On the left were bare trees and old garages. The kind of place where your headlights feel like they're not reaching far enough. "Left here," he said. I turned. The pavement ended almost immediately. The car bumped onto gravel. Ahead, my headlights caught a narrow road, leaning wooden fences and dark shapes that looked like abandoned houses. No porch lights, no parked cars, no dogs barking, nothing. "You sure somebody lives out here?" I asked. "They used to," he said. I looked at him in the mirror. He wasn't looking out the window anymore. He was looking straight ahead, waiting. That was when I decided I was done. I slowed down. "Listen," I said. "I'm not going any farther. Road's bad, there's no service, and I don't know this area. I can drop you here." He was quiet. Then he said, "Don't stop here." "Why?" "Just keep driving." "No," I said. "Either you tell me what's going on, or I'm turning around." He leaned forward slightly, and in the mirror I finally saw his face clearly. His skin was too tight around his cheekbones, his lips were dark and cracked, and under his collar, around his neck, I saw a thin black-brown line, like an old bruise, or a mark from a rope. Then he said very calmly, "It's too late to turn around." That was when I heard it. A long scrape along the passenger side of the car. Slow. Heavy. Like someone was dragging metal across the doors. I jerked my head toward the window. Nothing. Just darkness. "What was that?" I whispered. From the back seat, he said, "Don't stop." Then it happened again. This time on the driver's side. Long nails, or metal, or something sharp, sliding along the paint. I hit the gas. Gravel cracked under the tires. "What the hell is out there?" I shouted. The man didn't answer. I looked in the mirror, and the back seat was empty. I swear to God, 1 second he was there. The next, he was gone. The door had never opened. I would have heard it. I would have felt the cold air. The car was moving, but the seat behind me was empty. Then something hit the trunk. One hard slam. The whole car shook. I yelled and swerved. Ahead, in the headlights, a figure flashed across the road. Tall, thin, wrong, gone before I could brake. I slammed the pedal anyway. The car skidded on gravel and stopped. For a second, there was only my breathing. Then something moved at the edge of the headlights. Left side. A shape stepped into view. It stood too straight. His arms hung too low, almost to its knees. Its fingers twitched. Its mouth was open, wider than it should have been, but it wasn't making a sound. The eyes were deep and black. Not shadowed, black. Then another one appeared on the right, closer. Its head turned slowly toward me. One eye was missing. Just an empty dark hole where the eye should have been. Then more came out. From behind fences, from between trees. from the dark yards around the abandoned houses. I don't know how many. Too many. They surrounded the car without making a sound. One came up to my window. Its face looked like the skin had slipped downward, hanging in folds near its chin. Another had a chest caved in like something had crushed it. One dragged a leg behind itself but still moved fast enough to keep up. A hand touched the glass. The fingers were split open. The nails were black, thick, and too long. It left a dark smear on the window. Then something hit the other side. The car rocked. I threw it into drive and slammed the gas. Nothing. The tires spun. The creatures pressed closer. Hands on the windows, hands on the doors, fingers pulling at the handles. One struck the rear passenger window. Crack. A thin white line spread through the glass. That sound snapped something inside me. I screamed and hit the gas again. The tires spun, caught, and the car shot forward. Something scraped across the roof. Something slammed into the back window. I didn't look. I drove like an animal. The road bounced under me. Fences blurred past. Branches hit the windshield. I kept saying, "Come on, come on, come on," like the car could hear me. Then I saw pavement, the main road. I flew onto it so fast the car fishtailed. But I held it. Streetlights appeared. Real streetlights. A road sign. A closed auto shop. A traffic signal blinking yellow in the distance. I drove another half-mile before I pulled over. Then I threw the door open and vomited into the wet grass. After that, I went straight to a 24-hour car wash, where there were cameras and people. I parked under the lights and just stood there shaking. A worker came over and asked if I was okay. I nodded. I wasn't. A few days later, I checked the app. The ride was there. Completed. Paid. The pickup location was real. The route was real. The destination was that same abandoned house. Passenger name? Blank. No name. No number. No profile. Just an empty field. Then I checked the dash cam. The front camera showed me pulling up to Building C. The rear camera showed the back door opening, the seat dipping slightly, the door closing, but nobody got in. Nobody. The whole ride, the back seat was empty, and there I was, looking in the mirror, nodding, answering questions, pausing like I was listening to someone. Then the moment we turned onto the gravel road, the cabin camera glitched. Static, blocks of color, a low, broken sound. When the picture came back, I was alone, driving back, sweating, hands shaking, refusing to look in the mirror. I deleted the footage. I know that was stupid, but I couldn't keep it. I stopped driving after midnight first. Then I stopped driving nights. Then I stopped driving rideshare completely. Sold the car, changed my number, deleted the app. I tried to move on, but sometimes I still hear from drivers I used to know. They'll say, "Man, I got the weirdest ride last night. No profile. Pick up near the old apartments. Drop off outside the city. Same address. Some cancel. Some don't." And you know what I finally realized? They make it to the destination, and they stay there, out in the dark, until one night, they get into the back seat of your car. If you've made it this far, you're ready for the next story. It's already waiting on the channel.